Okay, a couple things to say right off the bat so that there's no confusion and that I can respect your time in case you need it. One, this is a follow-up video to a video I made a couple weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend you check it out because the things that I talk about in this video won't have as much context as it did in that video. So if you get a little bit frustrated or confused and you have questions, chances are in this video that's in the video description, we'll answer it for you. Two, this is the last heart-to-heart video you're going to see for a good long time. If you want to see more candidness outside the show of Boundary Break, I recommend you follow me on Twitter, but I do recognize that a lot of you aren't here for that. I just wanted to say that I see you guys, and I'm not looking to make videos like this all the time. Primarily going to be Boundary Break episodes. This is not meant to scare you guys in any way up front, and just to give some of you the too long didn't watch synopsis of this video, I started a campaign to try to expand Boundary Break, and it didn't quite go the way that we were hoping, but the Patreon will still remain up for two reasons. One, the money will still go towards making the show better. And the other reason is that maybe someday we'll reach the target goal. This does not mean that Boundary Break is going away. It just means that it probably won't be weekly anymore. Maybe about 2 episodes a month again. But with that said, if you're interested for the long haul, let's get the video actually started. First of all, if I was to make this video for any reason, it is for this one alone. I just personally want to thank every person who saw the first video or who saw episodes of Boundary Break in the last few weeks and saw a cause and decided they wanted to donate to it. I personally watch more YouTube than I do television, so I understand the culture of a viewer. And so I know that even if it was just $1 that you guys donated to the show, that dollar meant something. It meant that you believed in me and what I was doing and that you really wanted to see the show grow in a big way. So as I explain this story to all of you guys, I hope that you understand that for those of you who do donate, I absolutely love and respect you. And for those of you who don't donate but just watch the show, also understand that it doesn't slip past me that you're still supporting the show in a big way by just watching the show. And that explaining what happened here does not signify to me that you guys don't love Boundary Break or love it enough or something silly like that. But I thought this would be a cool video to make for people that maybe want to get into YouTube someday, or maybe just have a big project like they want to do a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter, and what it looks like on this end of things when things don't quite work out the way that you hope. So 1 month ago, I made a video expressing a theory that I had and what it would take to get there. Now, the theory was the algorithm treats my channel in a way that it expects weekly content. And the supporting evidence of that was that the channel started as a weekly show and slowly became a twice a month type show when the quality of the show started to grow. Now, also keep in mind that my channel is a more recent channel. I think that legacy channels maybe get handled a lot differently, which left the channel with a little bit of a problem. How do we get back to weekly episodes? It just simply can't be done by one person anymore. And scaling back the quality of the episodes was not only something I didn't want to do, but it was also something that I couldn't do. Understandably, the audience that I've accrued over time has expected a higher level of quality from video to video, and you can't really trick people into watching lower quality content, nor should you. So I thought about it long and hard, and I came up with a roadmap. The roadmap was to have 2 extra people on the channel, one person that was collecting footage for the show and kind of doing a bit of a script for me to read off, and an editor that worked between both of us. Now again, this was what the goal was, and this is where we ended up more or less. And the original plan was to have a full month of Boundary Break content to try and convince the audience that it can at least be done. But both people that I brought on completely understood and we went forward with it. And the results were exactly what I was hoping they would be, which essentially proved the theory true. The algorithm would kind of scale the amount of exposure the channel would get based on a weekly schedule, and if you only put out 2 videos a month, that's about half as much exposure as you would probably get for a channel trying to meet a monthly quota such as mine. And like I said, the proof is in the pudding. During this period, we had the first video come out, and it didn't do so hot, and that's okay. That was the start of this weekly episode thing. And then next week, the algorithm recognized, hey, this is a video that came out directly 1 week after the last video. And the amount of views and new subscribers that came in after that video was explosive. Following that was another video that just had insane results. Now, one thing that would have proved the theory wrong was if the views went down because there was too many videos coming out in a month. That can happen. There's such a thing as oversaturation on YouTube. But this was the complete opposite. It was giving me more views than usual, and YouTube was handling its viewers in such a way that would incentivize them to subscribe more often. It got to a point where the social blades started to look like this. Now, if you haven't visited the site before, essentially what you're looking at here is 1,000 new subscribers each day. And every time there's a blank spot, it just means that we didn't quite reach the 1,000 subscriber marker at that time. And then also, working with people was an absolute delight. I cannot stress to you enough how much fulfillment it gave me to be able to see a plan come together so perfectly. It was literally how I envisioned it going, is how exactly it went. Just as one person was done collecting his footage, it was just in time for the editor to be able to work on it. And then when the editor was done with that footage and the episode was ready to go out, I was then done with my footage, which I was able to hand off to him as well. And it kept the cog going. And again, it just put a fire in my belly that I hadn't had in a long time. And this experience has definitely taught me something. And it's that I need to strive to be able to get to this point someday in the future. And that's the thing. It's going to be someday in the future. I absolutely could have come on here and made a completely different type of video trying to convince you that this is absolutely something that can happen. Patreon link in the video description. Come on, boys, let's do this. But that's not genuine. It's just something that I really would love to see, not something that I can realistically see in this immediate future. But that's the thing, is that someday in the future, I think we can get there. And a big thing that I'm going to start doing from episode to episode is to mention Patreon more often. I might start doing sponsorships too. It's not something I've ever really wanted to do, but I would use that sponsorship money to maybe commission people to kind of give me a taste again of what it was during these last few weeks of making Boundary Break. It was a thrill, and I'll admit that I almost would be willing to do anything to have it back again. The only thing I'm not willing to do is to manipulate you guys in any sort of way to make that happen. Being genuine and doing the right thing has been the core philosophy of this channel all the way up to this point, and it's done really, really well for me to maintain on that philosophy through thick and thin. And that is the only reason why I could feel remotely comfortable making this video for you guys today. Not a lot of people would like to admit their failures. Certainly not on a platform where thousands of people can check it out. But I know, as weird as it sounds, there are people out there that look up to this show or what I've done and accomplished and may view Boundary Break as an inspiration for something that they decide to create in the future. And to any of you who do feel that way, absolutely do not look at my video from a couple weeks ago as a video that you should never do. 100% you should go for it. If you have a vision or a dream and you think that your audience may be able to help you get there, just be true to yourself and in turn true to your audience. And hopefully at worst, you and your supporters can wash their hands and say, hey, at least we tried. But at best, you have the potential to push yourself as far as you can possibly go. And I 100% support you and your dreams to one day get there. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, I'll hit you up with a Boundary Break episode as soon as I can. Take care.